Oh, you're back? You know, I could just play along with a groove like this all day long, and you can ask my wife. I do. And so I think it's going to be fun to share with you how to create your own sort of groove along this with a looper. All right. So first, I gotta shut the thing down for a minute. And there we go. All right. So the elements of that loop. Let's see. Let's turn this guy off because he's not going to be part of the proceedings. All right. So this little groove is based on a lot of grooves from the 60s. So I'm trying to be, you know, in my best 60s garb here, and because sartorial eloquence matters in these things, and so I'm using my 60s gear. I've got my old Showman here, according to its transformer. It's a 1965. You know, I don't know. That's the serial numbers I find online, and so I take it as gospel. So anyway, 65. The guitar itself is a Vega from the early 60s. It's purported to be around 1963. This would be very similar to some of the things that like Eastwood is reproducing these days. And I've been checking those guitars out because they're very affordable. And they kind of do this sort of thing, but I already have it, huh? And I got the vintage version. So anyway, there's that. That's from the 60s. I was born in 61. It just seems to be in the sauce here that we're going to be loving this kind of groove. So where does this kind of groove come from? If you think about green onions, let's see. So anyway, something like that. So if I take that and go, you can turn it around, right? So I always forget how the damn looper works. So what I'm doing there is I'm starting on a B, F sharp, A, and I use the open string See what a clever boy I was. I voiced it in B like that so that we could use the open strings to get that. So that so we're going to end up looping that around. So I'm going to kill this just killer version of this. I did this last night and it came out so well that I said, no way am I going to try and recreate that for the video. We're just going to dissect it. So here we go. So I'm killing it on the looper. You double tap and hold down on the ditto and it clears the whole thing. So all that work I'd done previously is just gone. And now I'm going to try and lay down my fundamental bass track for this. So I've taken the, I'm on the front pickup here and I've rolled it off as far as the tone. That's why things were sounding so cruddy. There we go. I've rolled it off on the tone now. And I'm going to use a fairly sharp pick attack because I still want to have some clarity in that bass line. But so, and I'll play that a few times just to get my rhythm going and then I'll loop it in. And I find it's usually a good idea for me to play through the loop into the right over it, just to kind of check and make sure that I'm locked in. So I kind of flubbed that. You can hear it a little bit. For right now, we'll just kind of go with that. So I've put it down, and now I need to have the rhythm guitar coming over the top of the bass. All right, so what am I going to do for that rhythm guitar part? So the rhythm guitar part, so it's a B minor 7, and I'm just giving those chucks like that. So I think that's the 13. Anyway, so I'm adding my pinky on. On a C sharp. Sorry it took so long for me to figure that out. Then it's going to E minor 7, and I'm just going to double the 7 up high here with the pinky. And that would be, I always call it the Jimi Hendrix chord because I learned to play it on Purple Haze. Anyway, that's up here on the on F sharp. So it's F sharp 9 with an added something. That thing added. So let's see if I can loop that in. So we have to wait for this thing to come around. And I play along. Okay, so that turned out all right. You really want to focus on getting that first bass thing down really well, and I didn't this time, but in the interest of time. All right, so the last piece of the puzzle on the backing track here is what would be, in my mind, a sort of answering horn line to what is the lead of this song. So in this song, the lead line is that. And sometimes I actually even play it right like that. So this drags in Charlie Christian from Fly Away Home. So I invite you to go learn that lick. So this is a variation on the Fly Away Home lick, and also a variation on Kenny Burrell's Midnight Blue. So a lot of this stuff is all sort of second cousins to each other. So with certain amounts of inbreeding, like West Virginia or something. See, and that's all blue, Miles Davis, right? So that's the other thing I'm dragging in here. There's just a lot of this stuff hanging in here. So I can run you through. An easy way to play that is down here. So you're starting on an E and just chromatically coming up. So that's the lead part, and then there's a. So I'm going to add that what I would add is you could do this on the organ, you could have the horns do it. Anyway, somebody's got to play. So I'm going to add that bit. So there's the so that's just like a B minor 7, C sharp. No. Yeah, I guess that is. Yep. And then same deal on the E minor 7, you're going to slide up. And those are whole steps. And one of the things I found kind of interesting was that the E minor slide works on the 5 chord of this progression. So go figure. Music theorists out there, you can just laugh at me and go, yes, John, that's obvious. But anyway, it was a major discovery for me. So anyway, let's get this thing going again, and we'll get the rest of this laid down. See, I played that same thing again. E minor. So I flipped that a little bit, but you get the idea. So that's how you create a backing track like that, and then you can just play solos over it all day long. And what I find is really good practice for getting better soloing, because I mean I was a straight, and I still am a straight pentatonic player, not all that fabulous, right? But I've started listening to a lot of different jazz. So the last little piece of the sauce that went into this, so there was that Jordu by Clifford Brown, and so and this is not at all the sort of backing swinging thing that goes on Jordu, but I just kept hearing what the piano player did for his solo. Okay, so that's standard time. I added chimes, like a clock at the end. Those are just the harmonics. And because I've got a Bigsby, you have to, use the Bigsby on the chimes. That's de-rigger. And that pretty much covers everything and more than I should probably say about this song. So I hope that the guitarists out there that occasionally check in on my site find this at all interesting, and let me know, because I won't prattle on like this on a regular basis unless somebody finds it interesting. So anyway, I hope you enjoy, and keep watching. Thanks. Bye-bye.